Good day. What a night it was yesterday. If you went to bed early, I'm extremely sorry, but you missed the game of the season. 7 goals at Allianz Arena, heartbreaks in Madrid, and obviously a tactical chess match in North London that has left the Emirates shaking. Welcome to P&B Sports Show. I'm Aaron Cotton, and today we are dissecting the fallout in the UCL quarterfinals. Joining me is a man who sees the game before it happens. My oga at the top of my boss, in-house sports analyst, Abel Sunday, and all the way from the ancient city of Benin, the man who performs magic with the statistics of the sport, the abracadabra of sports, Ero John. Welcome, gentlemen. I hope you both have recovered from the madness of the UCL quarterfinals.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, yeah. It is a lot of madness. It's not one that we can quickly recover from. It was a great show.
Okay, but what about you?
You see, I think we can pull over now. I'm having goosebumps all over my body. So now.
Okay, amazing. So, Abel, let's start with you. Bayern 4, Real Madrid 3, an aggregate of 6-4. You know, Madrid scored in the first minute through Adagula. You know, he even bagged a free kick. They had the lead. How did Real Madrid, lose this lead?
Well, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to my own opinion, though other athletes can have theirs, but I don't think I'm going to force Madrid because they did so well. Coming back from that, I even tied the game 3-2 at a point, but that shows you the quality, and that shows you why they were able to win up to 14. I beg your pardon. I guess my this is correct. 14 Champions League title. That shows the resilience and what. It just a few minutes madness. I think they were able to keep it to the end, keep their head cool to the end. It probably might go elsewhere. But again, you cannot deny the quality of the Bayern Munich and also the expertise of this company. Nobody will deny that. And that brings also the conversation of Pep Guardiola. The people that he took up. Look at Mikel Arteta is also in the semi-finals right now. We'll have the company also in semi-finals right now. So that shows you a whole lot. That yesterday game, like Miracle said, it was I think the final before the final. We saw everybody never want to take risks, everybody coming out of their shells, trying to see how they can score. And it was only Arsenal's game that would go down. But apart from that, I think we'll solve it for you.
Okay, so actually what we saw was the finals before the finals, like Abel said. But Bayern Munich scored twice, in the second leg, at Allianz Arena. And I think through Luis Diaz, through Michael Olise at the 94th minute to secure a 4-3 win on the night and a 6-4 aggregate victory. How does this thrilling 6-4 aggregate win over Real Madrid reshape Munich's status as the tournament favourites, in your own opinion?
Okay, that was a statement win from Bayern Munich. Kudos to them. It shows a great level of performance. And one thing that is outstanding for me in that game that many people may not think of this as you see, I always say something here that football is psychological. Everything is psychological. Let's clarify that Adagula after the 34 seconds goal, that one of the fastest goals in the Champions League history. The calling critic, despite Real Madrid's steady momentum and pushing PJ, you will discover that Bayern stayed focused. They kept their cool. Bayern came back 3 times in that game. That is a monster mentality. I have never seen such in a while in football. Coming back 3 times, we are behind the collapse, behind the third time, then the collapse again the third time. And eventually went from the winning game. It's a point that we have champions mentality. That's incredible. So many other things, pardon me, when you receive such pressure, when you receive such intensity, they tend to fold, they tend to collapse completely. But we saw the Bayern Munich side that was stable, that in fact, when they considered the second goal, immediately changed the tactics of the game. We started to play very well. We saw Luis Diaz went first down to the end of the game and something like everyone said, that is the most mentality. And this display further goes to show and prove that when you have a big mentality, when you have a coach that has a mentality of a champion, it is very evident in the way they play. So kudos to Bayern Munich. This win over Real Madrid, especially the 2 minutes goals from Luis Diaz and Rafael, has further gone to prove the point that Bayern Munich is always team to beat, and they are not teams when it comes to Champions football.
Obviously, kids don't play the UCL football, and obviously you have to have that beast mentality to make it to the UEFA Champions League semi-finals or even the quarter-finals. Real Madrid finished, the second leg with 9 players, and that says a lot. After Eduardo Camavinga and Aragula were sent off, and it says a lot about what happened in the late minutes. First of all, was it necessary? And did Real Madrid's lack of discipline under Arbeloa, cost them their historic comeback in the late minutes, Abel?
Yes, and a lot of conversation now is going that it's obvious that Arbeloa could not really keep the cool of those, because that's when they needed him to be able to keep the cool, keep those players. They're under pressure. But you as a coach, I think everyone has been, even if your players are under pressure, even if you as a coach, you are even under pressure, do not allow your players to know that you are even under pressure. You try to keep that away from them. Because you are there to guide the team. You are there you are the technical director, you are the everything there. You manage the team. I think that's the right for you. So you shouldn't do that. But I think that last the last thing that they took off direct from that you can see how the Bayern Munich was, in fact, they just caged them in that half, and they were kicking the ball all through. And you see all the people. But I think they were putting those pressure back on you, Bayern Munich. I don't think those goals would have come in. But again, that also question, like they question how disciplined their defense is. It tells you that when they have so much pressure, they cannot really handle it. But I think the coach would have done better, to be honest. How can you just concede 2 red cards in 9 minutes when you know what's at stake? 4-4 for Christ's sake. Is it that? And look at the second red, this yellow card. It's just time wasting. You get, and you know very well that you are even under, you have a yellow card already. Then why do you have to do such a thing? You get, how many seconds can you even squeeze out of the time that it's even left for you to go and get that yellow card? So that questions a lot. And of course, there's a conversation now already going. Probably they will need to get a new coach immediately at the end of this season, and which I think is better for Real Madrid. I don't think Arbeloa is mature enough to handle sorry, no offense, but I don't think he's mature enough to handle the team.
Your opinion right now is valid. Obviously, there's a reason why we call you the best sports analyst in the world. Harry Kane has equaled his best ever UCL scoring performance and tally. Is this the final season? The curse might just be broken, as they head to face a team like PSG moving forward. Obviously, Harry Kane reached 11 goals in this season 2025-2026 campaign, matching his previous personal best in the competition, and has now registered a goal or assist in 4 straight UCL games against Real Madrid, and has also showed his grit and performance even after the injury. Do you think that this might be the season that they might win the UCL? Eru.
Okay. If we're talking about Harry Kane breaking the course, I said you are specifically talking about the Champions League course.
Yes, obviously.
He has broken the course already. Okay, for the Champions League course, kudos to Harry Kane. I've spoken about Harry Kane on this show before. Harry Kane is a goal puncher. Harry Kane is a very good striker. He's one of the very few England players who the syndrome of the one season wonder did not affect. Because we have so many England players, they have been tagged the one season wonder. Harry Kane is one of the few progress players. The arrived from the days at Tottenham. He was consistent back to back. Season where Tottenham were poor, Harry Kane managed to score at least 18, 20 goals in the season. And so he's replicating the same thing in Bayern. We are not surprised at all. We are not surprised. As a matter of fact, we are overly pleased that he was able to replicate his monstrous form in Tottenham now. Now to answer the question, will Prince be the same way can break the record? I have it here, and I'm going to tell you. After between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. I told my friend who watched the game together that I care for Bayern Munich because if they play PSG like this, I'm sure they are going to suffer. And I'll tell you why. Every single attack that came from Real Madrid almost produced goal. Every single attack is like a major attack. In fact, one thing that made the game here they have so many goals was the fact that both teams had a very porous defense. Both the Real Madrid side and the Bayern Munich side, Upamecano and the other, they were just porous. They were, I can't like they were very poor. If not for the fact that Salah was not in a position beyond, I don't know what happened to them yesterday. They gambled a couple of chances. I think Real Madrid would have even gone the better would come Bayern Munich. So going into the semi-final against PSG, if I think it's to break this score, I think it's important. Everybody is playing the view of the defender as solid together. We have to move into the defense lineup and try to see how we can amend the loopholes. Because you see the likes of Tabashila, they are going to punish such the defensive lineup, and I promise you that. So, can I get them because yes, Bayern Munich is of course they are on proper form. In fact, that is the biggest semi-final game we watched. And then I sincerely wish that Bayern Munich advanced to the final because I think everyone is going to last game for the one match stop. Yeah.
You mentioned something, Eru, and I want you to further explain this. We see a European style of football whereby it's about who outscores, the other side. It's not usually about who plays more defense. Unlike the EPL side whereby everyone is trying to, play careful and play they are trying to minimize the risk, in respect to the results as well. How do you compare the European style of football after watching a Real Madrid Bayern, matchup compared to the EPL style of football or the English style?
Anybody that knows me knows that I'm one of the persons who advocate that in the EPL what we play is nonsense. We play rubbish ball. That's when I hear people saying the other person cannot try in England. You say it's a big fast guy. I already think to tell people now. Let's take into conversation. PSG have eliminated 2 Premier League teams already from the majority of the season. They've eliminated Chelsea, they've eliminated Liverpool. These are 2 of the biggest teams in England. These are 2 of the teams that are in the top 10 in England. So if PSG can defeat Liverpool in Chelsea, is it a Western team they cannot do? So I always said that the Premier League does not play entertaining football. The Premier League plays power football. Arsenal is the ambassador. You saw what happened after the football. The European football is way better than what we play in this Premier League. I think the only reason why we tend to rate the English Premier League higher than this other league is because of the intensity of the English Premier League. And the fact that as compared to other leagues, the English Premier League is not so predictable when it comes to winning topic. For example, in the German Bundesliga, you already know from the beginning of the season that if it is not a Bayern Munich, it will either be a Dortmund or recently it will be a Bayern Leverkusen. You already know that in the past, it is not a PSG, it will be a Monaco or in some cases a Lille. But in the English Premier League, it is not like that. Although Pep Guardiola is beginning to tender in 2019, the last year, you already know that, the time that Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Manchester United, that is the only thing peculiar to the Premier League. But when it comes to proper play of people, I can tell you for a fact the Premier League is poor. The Premier League is very, very poor. They don't put excitement to them.
Okay.
Comparison is clear.
Okay. So right now we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we are going to be moving on to the stalemate at the Emirates. What happened? And how was it 0-0 for an Arsenal and Sporting side? So don't go anywhere, because P&B Sports Show will be right back. We're bringing you the biggest headlines, match analysis, and expert analysis from the world of sport.
Unbelievable! It's Rodri! Manchester City are on their way!
From football to basketball to athletics, from outdoor sports to indoor sports, we all got you covered. Stay with us as we break down the latest results
and as we dive into the major sports stories making waves globally and locally.
Oh, he's taken it! Push, yes! To the top left he goes!
your home of everything sports.
Only on Politics and Business Television. So welcome back to P&B Sports Show. I remain your host, Aaron Cottom, and I'm still here, being joined virtually by the best sports analyst in the world, Abel Sunday, and also by the abracadabra of sports, the man who brings the magic to sports analysis, Ero John, all the way from Benin City. Now we're going to be moving on to the Arsenal Sporting matchup. It was an amazing quarterfinals. It was an amazing show for Sporting CP, the Portuguese side. First of all, we saw Arsenal secure a 0-0 draw to advance on their 1-0 first leg lead. In your opinion, Abel, is Mikel Arteta's defense-first approach in the knockout stage exactly what Arsenal need to move forward and to take this UCL season?
Well, I think anyhow you play these days, it doesn't matter. Just grant the results, that's it. So even if it's half good, I can take you to the next stage. Fine, do it. I think that's where we are right now. But come to Mikel Arteta, that shows you yesterday that I think this is a knockout stage team that no matter what it is, 1-0 they will do. But again, against Sporting, I don't think it's a team that can really should I say rate Arsenal on, because definitely Arsenal should be bigger than that team in terms of degree.
Abel held the Arsenal side at home. This is a Sporting side that have not lost at home in almost the last 16 to 18 games before they met the Arsenal side. And then Abel, hold on. And also, this is a Sporting side that went over to the Emirates, a Portuguese team for that matter, went over to the Emirates and held them at 0-0. Are you saying that this is not a team that you can rate the Arsenal side on?
I'm saying with what the Arsenal team possesses, the squad they have, I don't think you will rate the Sporting side with that. But that's not what I'm trying to line on the point. This Arsenal team that have kept 13 clean sheets this season, and definitely you could say that yes, they had a very good defense. There's no two ways about it. Then right now they are in the semi-final. I think they're supposed to play. Is it PSG? No. Atletico Madrid. They're going to play Atletico Madrid, which we don't know. It could go anyway. Either considering the fact that they do met earlier this season. I think they did Atletico 4-0. But this might be a revenge mission for Diego Simeone. But back to what happened yesterday, I think what Arteta just did after the bad luck at the weekend, he just has to see how the rally is being done. Let us seal this game out. Even if we cannot come out and make sure they don't score. Let us seal this game out. And I think that's what they did. But going to the next stage, which is the semi-finals, well, only time will tell. But I think Diego Simeone really have enough. Since they're going to this guy, I think he should be the favorite. Because this Barcelona, I think that's the moral booster for Atletico Madrid against Arsenal. But
indeed,
again, you cannot have Arsenal up. We hope they qualify, because they got to semi-final. Again, you cannot write Mikel Arteta up, because they are going to say last season he got to semi-finals. He was eliminated by PSG. But this season now, I would not know if Atletico Madrid is going to do that, or is going to stay to the finals. But only time will tell.
Indeed. Do you have a contrary opinion? Abel thinks that Sporting is not a side to rate the Arsenal team on. A Sporting side that held Arsenal scoreless at the Emirates. Something that only few teams have been able to do successfully this season. Maybe teams like Manchester United. In your opinion, did the Portuguese side, do enough to win? Or did they just lack this clinical finisher that they need to put the goal at the back of the net?
First off, I will differ from what Mr. said. I don't think for you to qualify down to get to the quarterfinals of the November, it shows that you're a team to beat, a good team. It's a competition that over 22 teams starting, and getting to the quarterfinals stage in the last is not an easy feat. But I guess where it's coming from, Arsenal obviously in terms of pedigree, tradition, and history, the bigger team than Sporting City. But then someone kind of goes on, what Sporting City is that, especially yesterday, was the clinical finisher. They have the target man. They didn't just get the ball at the back of the net. They had a couple of attempts at the ball that needs to be the bar and a couple of other mistakes, but they did not just have clinical finisher to do the dirty job for them. I was telling my friend I was doing it that if they want to play yesterday, if they are playing like that, I don't think they would have lost at home. It's not happened that they play better at the Emirates than they play better at home. And this caused a worry for me because I was bothered. But then again, we have to look up to Arsenal, good defensive setup. The fact that Jose Mourinho said something some time ago when he was at Chelsea, the criticizing style of play. He was only doing better to me. And he told the interview, I said, I was not hired to impress you. Neither was I hired to impress all of you. So what matters to me and to God is the result. So if I have to put boring work to get my 3 points every week, then it's to play. I'm not hired to excite.
Indeed.
So I think that the mantra Arteta lives by at the end of the day is the semi-finals at his stake. Whether you are entertained or not is not his business. What is his business is that he has advanced to the semi-finals. But again, if they go to play like this against Atletico Madrid, I don't think they will qualify. I don't want them to qualify, by the way, but I don't think they will advance to the final. So yeah, Sporting just like the clinical finisher, but they have a decent game overall.
Okay, indeed. Abel, something is brewing in the semi-finals. We didn't see one heroic man, one historic player, and that player for Arsenal was Bukayo Saka because he's been sidelined by injury. Arsenal looked less than a threat, throughout this throughout the second leg in their attack. If he's not back for the semi-finals, do you think that Arsenal can move past Simeone's defense moving forward?
I don't know why we're bringing the conversation of Bukayo Saka in this game again, because I know when we started this season, there was a lot of conversation around Arsenal having depth in squads. So even one person injured, nobody. So why are we bringing out this conversation back that without Bukayo Saka they cannot go to the semi-final? I believe that anybody goes out of that team, they have a replacement. So I don't think Bukayo Saka's absence, though it might be fine, but I don't think Bukayo's absence will also have any impact if they really want to play. Arsenal should come out and play. I think what's going on with Arsenal now is just that they are demoralized. Losing the Carabao Cup to Atletico to Manchester City is enough trauma for them. Losing again to which team on Saturday, what they are again, is another big trauma. You get?
Yes.
Just looking at them, chasing them behind in the Premier League is another big topic. So coming to this game, I think they are moving back. The trauma is going to put that here.
Abel, I know your in-law is an Arsenal fan. So when it comes to Arsenal and Bukayo Saka, you can talk about it, from now till next year. But we are going to be seeing, in the semi-finals, PSG will be taking on Bayern. First leg April 28th, then second leg May 6th. And also Atletico Madrid will be taking on Arsenal on April 29th for the first leg and May 5th for the second leg. What are your predictions, Abel? PSG versus Bayern Munich. Just give us your scoreline predictions for both the first and second leg on aggregate, and who is taking it home.
Well, I think PSG is going to go through. Why? With what I
just give me the scores. I don't care why. Just give me the scores, please. Time is against us.
2-0 PSG go through. 2-0 PSG go through.
Okay, and Ero Atletico Madrid Arsenal. Who is taking it home?
Atletico Madrid, please.
Okay, okay. When it comes from Chelsea fans, the only thing we hear is we do not want. From Chelsea fans, they don't want Arsenal to win a double at all. Exactly. Well, Abel, thank you so much, and thank you so much. And that's where we draw the curtain on today's Champions League madness. Before we go, a massive shout out, obviously, to my brothers on the panel, Abel Sunday, and the master of tactics and a legendary abracadabra himself, Ero John, all the way from Benin City. Thank you both for the fire you brought in today.
You're welcome.
Okay.
My pleasure.
And to you, our viewers, the lifeblood of P&B Sports Show, thank you for tuning in. Whether you're watching from Lagos, London, or Lisbon, we don't take your time for granted. Now, if you enjoy this deep dive, don't just watch and leave. Smash that subscribe button right now and hit the notification bell so you are the first to know when the drama drops. Make sure you follow us across all our social media platforms for the hottest takes and behind the scenes content. We want to hear from you in the comments. Did Real Madrid get robbed, or are Bayern just built differently? Drop your predictions now. I've been your host, Al Kotom. This is the P&B Sports Show, the home of the real fans. We'll see you in the semi-finals. Bye for now.